Welcome back to UCentral News. I'm JaNae Williams, and here is your social media update. The war of words is escalating between the U.S. and Iran.
There's a picnic table actually underneath this tree right here.
Exit polls from North Carolina show that just like in Virginia, a large portion of people waited until the last few days to make their decision on who to vote for. So that is a common theme that we are seeing across the country right now.
I decided to get tested because I work in a casino, and so I don't really know what my exposure risk is. I'm gonna have a little bit of an obstructive view, but I want you guys to be able to see the actual swabbing process.
Straight ahead for me, tilt your head back some.
Election day is just 19 days away, and there is a lot to keep in mind. So this is big news. We have the first Republican governor coming out saying that he felt he needed to vote against President Trump. There was a caucus today as well in the American Samoa, and that has actually been called by CNN as going to Mike Bloomberg. So that is his first pickup of delegates is going to be coming from the American Samoa. So again, the state of Nevada GOP and the president's campaign have asked for an extension on voting for at least an hour after those polling sites did not get open on time this morning. All of these results are still just projections. We don't have any official results because all of the ballots are still being counted. Here in the courtyard of the College of Fine Arts and Design House, the students who run Central Station have had to make some changes due to COVID-19. Just like the rest of the planet, the social media world is buzzing with election content. Agriculture has been an important part of the Oklahoma economy for decades. Black Lives Matter protests against police brutality have been seen across the U.S. in the wake of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor's murders. Abortion has been a topic of heavy discussion amongst politicians across the nation. Here in the courtyard of the College of Fine Arts and Design House, the students of the School of Music's Department of Musical Theater will present The Apple Tree, the latest in a series of outdoor musicals that they have prepared to present in a socially distanced manner.
We looked at something old, something new, and then something outside the box.
The School of Music's Department of Musical Theater has learned some keys to their continued success. Follow the rules.
I think the students have been very disciplined. We've had a scare earlier this semester, but knock wood, nothing that would shut us down.
We've been really careful about when we go to in-person classes and just keeping ourselves safe. That's been a major key for us because with the show, there's only 10 of us in it, so if one of us fell, somebody would have to replace, and it's been a challenge, but we've been on top of it.
Adapt to necessary changes.
Clearly there are weather challenges. We've had all kinds of critters out here. I know that during Big Fish there was a skunk that would wander onto the set sometimes. And
so this next week, they have said on the news that it's predicted to be 26 degrees on Sunday, and hopefully that doesn't continue throughout the week, but that is right now our biggest problem that we're dealing with.
And the show must go on.
you know, we've got 5 weeks of school left, but we still have 3 more productions. So I sometimes laugh and say, what were we thinking? But I know what we were thinking. We were thinking we wanted to provide as many possibilities and options for our students and experiences for our students as possible.
Performance is inspiring to people, and that's our main goal.
From the campus of UCO, JaNae Williams, UCentral News.
Last month, the state of Colorado became the first to pass a bill capping insulin copays for insured patients. A similar Oklahoma bill proposed by Representative Forrest Bennett of Oklahoma City during the state's most recent legislative session failed to make it out of committee. Bennett plans to reintroduce similar legislation next year, with hopes for a similar Senate bill sponsored by State Senator Kerry Hicks. One problem for advocates working to reduce drug pricing is that the Colorado legislation does not offer any protections for the uninsured.
The people that don't have insurance, they're expected to pay the entirety of their health care, be it for the medication or for the follow-up with the physician, out of their pocket. And that eventually becomes cost prohibitive. People have to decide, well, am I going to eat dinner today or am I going to pay for my insulin?
According to the American Diabetes Association, Of those diagnosed with the disease, at least 7.4 million diabetics require insulin to live. When the cost of insulin is too high, some patients resort to rationing or taking less medication in attempts to make the life-saving drug last longer. This choice can have costly and permanent effects.
The cost is typically spread out through other means such as taxpayer money and things like that. And you're talking about increased healthcare problems and increased mortality, people that are actually dying because they cannot afford their medication.
While middle-aged Americans are still the most commonly diagnosed with diabetes, researchers warn that college students are at an increased risk for developing the disease due to a number of factors, including poor dietary habits, physical inactivity, and high stress levels. In Edmond, JaNae Williams, U Central News. The University of Central Oklahoma has launched what it is calling an alignment and allocation effort in order to combat budget issues. University President Patty Newhold Ravikumar first announced the effort in mid-September and held an open forum in conjunction with Provost John Barthel and Vice President for Finance and Operations Kevin Freeman on October 8th.
Our annual planning and decision-making efforts have historically started too late in the year to make time for the broad and inclusive conversation that we'd like to encourage. And that's a point that can be resolved with forethought.
The university has seen a decline in enrollment in recent years, with numbers down 12.6% from 2012. Additionally, university students are enrolling in less credit hours. Fall 2019 students enrolled in 14,794 less hours than students in fall 2012. Those hours mean a loss of about $3.82 million for the university.
We're certainly not the only institution facing this challenge. It has been both a regional and a national trend. A number of factors we believe are contributing to this trend, some of them out of our control, some of them we may have influence on.
The university is at work finding ways to increase enrollment.
We've had a lot of discussions already just in the time that Drew's been in his position about ways in which we can get the academic side of the house, if you will, more involved, whether it's through workshops or gatherings, internships, and other kinds of arrangements that we can make to ensure and increase recruitment.
Adrian Nobles, Assistant Vice President for University Communications, said there's a two-part system currently in place. One side focuses on recruitment, the other on retention. The ultimate goal, she said, is to help students who start at UCO finish at UCO. From Edmond, JaNae Williams, U Central News.